Hey everybody, welcome. It's Laura. This is day 4 of my personal development video challenge. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope it's a great day wherever you are. I wanted to talk today a little bit about the power of thought and and worldview and what it is that we're holding in our minds. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, up until a year ago, I worked with at-risk teens and their families for over 14 years, most of those as a therapist. And I got to, in that work, witness and be a part of and observe firsthand the power of the mind and thought, and what taking a look at that and spending some time with it can do to affect change and behavior and how someone's interacting with the world. In that setting, my general experience was that for most of those kids, the world had taught them early on, and this is an extreme example, again, of the power of thought, but the world had taught them that it wasn't safe and people were not good or kind or having their best interests at heart. And so, as a result, they'd formed certain ways of thinking about the world. We all do, based on our world experience. And from those thoughts about things, which really served as a survival mechanism. They served a purpose. Unfortunately, the resultant behaviors were oftentimes stuff that just wasn't going to fly out in the world, and so there's a need to take a look at it. And so, and I'm also personally trying to do this work always. I'm always trying to be aware of how I'm thinking about things. Certainly more so lately, but I was really honored and blessed to get to watch the transformation in some of those kids' lives when they just started thinking differently about the world, and maybe having a different experience. One way to think about it is that when we're out and about in our lives, things happen, events take place. We can't always do much about that. Life just goes on, things happen. When events do occur, though, whether we realize it or not, have an instant thought about that. It might even be subconscious sometimes, about that event. And from our thoughts come our feelings and emotions. And I don't know that I've met anybody who can just turn their feelings on and off at will. If they can, it's probably a little bit creepy, actually. But it's pretty hard to do, to just switch your feelings on and off. And from our feelings, though, that's where we get our reactions from. We react based on how we're feeling about things. So, for example, if I'm driving down the street and somebody cuts me off, and my instant thought is that, oh, they did that on purpose, they're a jerk, they're out to get me and mess up my day, I'm consequently going to feel angry and negative and bad, and probably waste a lot of energy, and maybe have some behaviors that don't like, like cursing and road raging and that kind of thing. But if I don't want to be that person, if I don't want to spend that kind of energy, waste that kind of energy on anger and hatefulness, then I'm going to backtrack from that. And if I can change my thought about something like that to, hey, you know what, maybe they were just in a big hurry today, and no worries, I'll just let them pass. They probably need to be somewhere. Then my feelings about the whole thing are going to be pretty inconsequential, and then I'm not going to maybe have that same reaction. So I guess if I could offer something today, it'd be, take a look at it. If there's something in your life that you're having a reaction to, or you're having some feelings that just don't feel right or don't sit right with you, take a look at it, backtrack. What is it that you're thinking about that thing? You may be having some thoughts about a person or something taking place in your life that you're not even really aware of. It's part of why I love working with the horses, and I'll talk about that another day on another video, but they're so good at reflecting that back. I made a big decision, in talking about what we're holding in our mind. My decision today was to get rid of my cable. I've gotten in the bad habit of watching TV before I go to sleep and just filling my head with all kinds of world garbage. It's not really helpful, and instead I replaced that with listening to really awesome audio from Justin Varengia that I've been able to access through Empower Network. And I've been listening to that every night before I go to sleep, and I have to say that I'm waking up in such a different state of mind, just ready to take on the day and charge ahead and make it happen. And it's power of thought and what it is that I'm putting in my brain before I go to sleep. So if you'd like any more information about that, just go ahead and click on the link that's by this video, and it'll just get you a little more info. Like I said, it's In the short time I've been engaging with that, it's been really powerful and really made a difference in my daily life. I personally hope that I never stop learning. It's a mission of mine to just be an eternal learner and always be getting better. So that's what I'm working on right now, and I really appreciate you sharing my journey and tuning in and watching my videos and seeing what's going to happen for me over the next 90 days. Good things are coming. I can feel it. So, all right, guys, thanks so much again, and have a fantastic day. We'll see you tomorrow.